Yo fam, happy Monday, guys. Lots to speak around today. I am still long on a couple altcoins, right? I want to speak around a Solana, Ethereum, Near protocol breakout. I want to speak around gold, silver, stock markets, Bitcoin, prepare our charts for the week. Does see that we're going to get some volatility, specifically in altcoins over the next 3 days. Now, what I want to do is give you the charts that are ready and give you ones that are upcoming to get ready for. We are on a verge of a short squeeze at any point. And like I spoke, if the bears don't take control soon and dump the market soon, we are getting ready for a bull comeback. So guys, do me a favor, smash up the like, subscribe up. Let's go.
I try and help everyone in my space, and this is what I get. I try and fight the devils, but inside I'm just like 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Welcome to Sheldon Show.
Yes, fam, cheers. I don't know about you guys, I'm feeling tired on this Monday. Hope you guys had a great weekend. So again, Mondays are a very good time for you to prepare your charts for the week, right? Couple of things. I've been having a pretty good week trading gold. So I want to remind you guys again that a nice kind of substitute to trading crypto right now is trading gold, right? Gold had a 7% candle last week on the weekly. So there's a lot of good volatility there right now. I'm in a little short. I'll speak around that a little bit later in the stream. I do want to highlight to you that this has been one of my really good growing accounts in these times, right? Obviously, Bybit have the TradFi section. They have specifically the CFD section. So no fees, right? So I'm trading with a good size, no fees in the market right now. But this is something I just want to highlight to you guys that, yes, we're waiting for some crypto. I'm keeping it quite clean when it comes to crypto entries. I'm not chasing many and setting too many bets when it comes to trades. Long term, I've accumulated every blue chip that I've been speaking around. When it comes to trades, I'm only trading ones that are really breaking daily trends, right? But at the same point, I'm trading gold. Gold has some volatility right now. Silver's got some volatility. So there's a lot of good opportunities to keep trading right now and moving where you're going to win, right? But now let's jump straight into the markets. So first thing is, let's go off and start off with crypto. Right, crypto, and then I'll jump onto the next kind of asset. So we've been chopping around. Bitcoin's been sitting here in this range between 64 and 65, right? But what you can start to see, right, if I jump to this one over here, you can see that we are starting to now really narrow down price, right? So yes, price is chopping around, okay? It is making an uprising wedge. So for bullish scenario, we need to speed up pretty soon, okay? But nonetheless, we look at this, we should get anywhere in the next 24 to 48 hours, we should get a breakout, right? It's either going to be the pullback breakout into support, or it's going to be the breakout and the push to 67, 68, 69,000, right? So let me show you guys why I'm saying those numbers, okay? As we are just chilling here for multiple weeks, right, we are starting to crunch up a little bit closer to the weekly trend line, right? That's the big breakout we're waiting for. That one for me kind of gets to the point of marking bottoms, right, of this area over here. But as you can see, we're slowly starting to creep up over here, okay? And a bullish scenario is we actually see a strong weekly candle and a push up to 70,000, right? We are now crunching back up to resistance points, right? Anything support-wise, right, or pullback-wise, right, the warning signs will come from the bottom of this trend over here. So even though we are now starting to slowly creep up, just know that level by level we creep up, support is starting to rise up, right? Which means warning signs of markets pulling back again, or Bitcoin wanting to come down to these low areas are getting a little bit easier to identify, right? So if you look at the two weekly lows, the major low we made at 58,000 and the recent weekly low we made last week, right? You're now sitting with a trend, meaning that support on Bitcoin right now is sitting anywhere here of up to 63 to 64,000. Right, we start closing daily below that. We start then looking at the scenario of the higher low W pattern. Now, I want to speak around that scenario. If we go bearish, I'm looking for a push down to 60,000, and then I'm looking for a push up to the upside, right? That is the first major play when it comes to, let's say, a pullback. But then secondly, if we don't break this trend, we hold support now and the squeeze comes in, I am looking for a push up to $70,000. Then I think a small rejection. Then I think we start moving up to the areas of 80 to 90,000 in Q3, Q4 of this year, right? That's where I'm kind of looking there. Now, the important one to pay attention to right now is the altcoins. Right, this is where the altcoins are sitting, guys, and why it's important to be really charting your alts right now and getting them ready, because we are coming down to crunch time, right? If we look at this over here, we're looking anywhere in the next 3 to 4 days, a very big breakout coming from altcoins, right? It's up or down, right? But it's big moves, right? If you look at the accumulation, okay, we need something to go very south news-wise this week, but accumulation, right, takes us up here on a pump. okay? And it can easily take us down here on a dump, right? That is how much this preparation and this move. Now, when you are paying attention to something like that, right, accumulation is what creates result, right? So if you look at many times where we accumulate, okay, is where we basically see results. So an example, right, this accumulation created this result, right? When it takes time and the move happens, it tends to be a very strong one, okay? But what we want to pay attention to is when we are in accumulation is the pattern that we are forming, right? So if you look at a very obvious thing between the last two times when we were accumulating, it is very obvious that there were the uprising wedges of accumulation. Okay, this time we're not making an uprising, we're actually making a descending pattern. So for the first time, you know, if you look at the areas of the difference, right, that was the difference over there, that was the difference over there, right, that was the difference over there, right? These were actually bullish patterns that we had at this point. So it's a very important thing that, yes, we're in accumulation, we're not making an uprising wedge this time, right? And that's a very important play to pay attention to. Nonetheless, you have two lines breaking and giving you an indication of when the next major move is happening. I'm looking for a daily close outside either one of them, okay? So if I look at this over here, if altcoins start pushing up, and we have a literal move of up to 1 to 2% up from here on altcoins, a bunch of altcoins on the verge of possibly a squeeze, right? And the squeeze takes us up all the way up to this area over here and very likely to the 200-day moving average. Now, it's very likely to be a quick move. It's very likely to be a double-digit green day move on the altcoins, okay? And it's very likely to catch many off guard and probably won't see any pullbacks for a couple of days, okay? Which means you're really paying attention to altcoins that are breaking these trends. Ones that are ready right now, altcoins that are on this side of the trend line, right? Ones that are getting ready are ones that are crunching up, and those who have distance from the trend line, right? Those are not too urgent right now today to place a kind of trade, right? So it's an important way to kind of navigate the importance. Now, one more trend I also want you guys to pay attention to, right, is this trend over here. There's a second trend on altcoins. And I'm going to remove this front line okay? This might also be a play. Okay, so it also just means that if we start breaking out, we want to see a real move, right, up to this area over here and close above. So what does that basically mean? It means that us breaking this trend over here, I'm taking bets, right? Us getting to the next trends, I'm moving stop losses close to entries. Us breaking that trend, I'm adding more to positions and going all in, right, when it comes to the trades. Right, so those are two important lines that I wanted to get through to you guys today. Now, again, USDT dominance is showing us this chart over here. Remember, high time frame, very big uprising wedge. This is known as the extremely bearish pattern on the high time frame. Remember, this chart going down is very bullish for markets. Okay, but the first sign to pay attention to today is we are starting to lose the bottom trend. Okay, but it is highlighting that we're going to come down to this area over here. This is very likely a $68,000, $69,000 Bitcoin. Right, very likely up to a 10, 12% move in a bunch of altcoins to the upside. We lose that, we're very much looking at a very strong move over the next couple of weeks and months. So what am I kind of getting to? That entries we're taking now might actually be mega entries, right? And that's why it's important day by day, following on the shows as we'll go through these road steps when it comes to us doing this together. Now, a couple of trades that I'm very much in. Now, I reminded you guys the trades that I took last week, and it's the trades that I'm still in right now. Okay, I built a Solana position, which is doing really nice. We got in at 73. We're sitting at 76.8 right now. We then have a Ethereum position that I've been building at the low 1900s. And then one I've been slowly dipping my toes into, right? It's probably around 40% to 50% size of the other trades is Chainlink. Okay, so I want to go through these over here. This is where ETH is sitting. Now, the trade setup that I took last week was us breaking the 4-hour trend, right? That support right now means there's entries on ETH right now. But then as I kind of charted again, you can very much see a massive move is coming for ETH, right? Up or down. Right? That's how it kind of plays right now, which means I can give you longs and shorts on these setups right now. Okay, I'm personally long, but let me show you guys what we're looking at. So the ETH breakout above 1960, right, is very likely a push up into the 2000s. It's also very likely to be the first altcoin to actually break above the 200-day moving average. Right, one of the first ones to do so. So ETH is definitely by far slowly starting to gain more strength than ever. If we look at the Ethereum dominance, it's now tested and it's still above the 200-day moving average, and it's still above the Bitcoin pairing as well. So ETH is just coiling up very quick. That's why for me, a little bit of urgency on building ETH positions. But then when it comes to the setup's pretty simple, right? If we look at this over here, entries here, stop losses in the area of the 18,990 type of area. Right, just under the 1900 type of zones, that's kind of where I don't want to be in the position for now because we'll get better entries, okay? But the upside is really good. So the risk to reward is a strong move. Where am I looking for ETH go? To the top of the range, right? $2,400 is what I'm seeing it move over a couple of weeks. Might move there quick. We'll see. Okay, it's been a good accumulation this period, but that's the long setup. If I was looking to go short in the markets, right, bearish in the markets, I would like the bears to show some strength first, right? Show us a dump, and I'll be shorting this area over here to the downside. For now, longs are in play. Ethereum is one of the favorites. Then when it comes to Solana, Sol has broken out, guys. Sol's broken out. And not only that, there's a little bit of time here when it comes to Sol. Sol's still quite strong. Again, it's actually very far from any type of bearishness, right? So bearish levels on Sol is below $73, $72, right? Basically where our previous entries were, which were really good. It also broke out of this daily over here. Okay, now again, guys, I show you a bunch of trend lines, okay? But the trends also highlight many different things, right? If I draw this over here, we bounced on 618. Right? If I use horizontals, there's many there. If I look at RSIs, they're at the bottom. So I don't just show you trend lines. Behind the trend line, there's 4, 5, 6, 7 tools that I've used that highlight it. But trends just make it very simple to give you a very simple statement of where the story is at and what to be doing to protect yourself, as well as where we're strong and when we are weak. Okay, now where I'm looking for Sol, guys, the buy zones. If I'm looking to buy some more Solana, I am looking for slightly lower down for a buy, right? Which is here between 74 and 70. Mid $75 range. Stop losses are very much around $73 right now, okay? And then as you can see here, there's a squeeze up anywhere at any time to the mid $80. Now, over the next couple of weeks, okay, if you look at the monthly specific, I'm looking for a push up over here at target 1, which is $98, and I'm looking at $125 as target number 2. That's the current trade setups that I'm preparing right now. And as I told you guys previously, it's crazy to not get Bitfunnel packages right now, right? As you could see, right, I'm starting to get nice and profitable on a live account. Right, so I'm getting to trade with the, how long am I right now? I am $200,000 long. I paid $1,400 for this package. Right, crazy. So I'm 200,000 long right now. It's insane. With stop losses at entry, which is amazing. So a lot of Bitfunnel packages for you guys. Link below in the description. I think we've got a 50% off sale right now for you guys over there. Then nonetheless, let's jump back in over here. Okay, then one that I want to bring to you guys' attention today, right, which is 𝗫 protocol. Here's 𝗫, guys. So 𝗫 is a little bit more of a spot play. Can definitely be some low leverage, all depending on your risk. Okay, but if you look at this over here, here's 𝗫, right? Hit the 200-day moving average twice. Double bottom in play on the verge of a trend line break. From here, I'm looking for a 𝗫 push up to 2.1, if not to $2.4. So this is a big trade that I'm seeing here. Hence why I say spot trade is also really good. If I'm looking to take this trade right now, right, I must know that there is a 2-3% kind of barrier right now of where price can kind of hang around. Okay, but if you go to the 4-hour, you draw this bottom trend, right? Stops are kind of sitting around this lower area, which means that there's a small buy zone now. I would ladder in like a 30-40% in now. Okay, and there's also some buys sitting down at the 1.63 to 1.64 kind of range over there too for some more add-ons to the trade. Okay, so this is one that I want to bring guys' attention. I think it's going to have a rally and a strong push at any point. It's looking to break the daily trend and truly starting to show some nice strength in the market. When it comes to my Chainlink positions, this one's in a bit of a flag, right? So I'm looking, I still have my stop losses around. I've moved them down slightly to 8.05. Okay, so something like Chainlink, I do think there's some entries sitting over here. So I'm going to add a little bit more to my Chainlink position. Okay, but over the next couple of weeks, I'm seeing a push up to the areas of $10 to $12. Right, but no massive urgency. One token that's have a small little bounce right now is Injective. I'm not seeing any breaks right now, but I am keeping eyes on this to see if I see any strength happen over the next couple of days. Now, I do want to speak around Pump. I know Pump's been doing well. I'd really been having a strong rally to the upside over the last while. Okay, again, I just want to highlight to you, right, it's very important that all altcoins run in their own times, but follow a very simple pattern, right? So when they get out of that range of accumulation and they break the daily trends, that's the first sign. The second one is getting above the 200-day moving averages, right? That's when things really start to pick up. So something like this is looking good. I don't see any major buys right now, but I do want to give you guys that trend line. That's for as long as it's going to keep going, it's going to hold that momentum and keep that trend over there in play. Then I do want to speak around a possible slight pullback when it comes to the stock market. So again, shout out to Bybit. If you don't have a Bybit account, link below in the description. For TradFi, I see I'm up 3K now, nice. Okay, but I actually shorted gold. Okay, so I want to speak around this for a second. So a nice pump for gold into this area over here. But as you can see, we're right in the trend line. So I actually see a possible opening of some redness, okay, in the gold market, possibly the S&P and stuff like that. So it does give me an idea that, hey, there might be a small pullback in the market first between Monday and Tuesday this week, and then rallies up. Okay, but if I look at this now, I am shorting down to the areas of around 4,250, and then I'm looking for longs back up to 4,500. Okay, so yes, good week from gold. Gold had a solid push. If we look at a couple percentage, they're up to a 7-8% move. So again, I see possibly a start of like this in the beginning of the week and then a rally up. Nonetheless, I think gold's turning slightly bullish on the high time frame. Okay, this is only but a nice reset to coil itself up for the main trend that we're seeing over there. Right, so I'm short here, I'm long on some altcoins, I'm short on gold right now as it stands. Where I protected myself on gold is above this previous high over here, which is around 0.8% from where we are now, because then we're looking at a rally to 200-day moving average at 4,500. When it comes to the S&P, let's go to the futures, right? The futures looks like this right now. So what I see the futures doing right now is very much something like this. I see a possible little flag here forming, okay, and then some possible bullishness over here. So just keep that in mind, a little bit choppy, okay. If we lose this bottom trend, we're going to go down stock market and then go up again. So just keep that in mind. We'll see how crypto reacts when that basically starts to happen. And yeah, we got the 𝗥𝗃, which is telling me that there is a very big pump coming, but it's very likely to see a dump first in the markets, strength in dollar, and then big weakening of dollar. Right? Same thing when it comes to oil as well. Oil's moving up, got big resistance ahead, right? So push up in oil and then a drop to the downside. So with that information, again, a nice laddering in system today to say 20-30% in now. Some limit orders a little bit lower down. I don't think alts are going to be too affected from any pullbacks on stock markets right now. I'm not seeing any 10% moves. I'm seeing maybe a 1-2% move down. Some limit orders in. So basically, next 48 hours, some chop, set some limit orders, open your trades, buy trades that are out or tokens that are outside of daily trends. Okay, and by Wednesday, I'm looking at the market move to the upside. Lots of love. Have a great day. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.